Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming back to join me. So today I'm going to be sharing some kitchen wives' tales with you. So these could be things that you've maybe heard and you want to know if they're true or not, and kind of my experience with it. So if you'd like to see some of these kitchen wives' tales, then please keep on watching. Just so you know, I do upload a daily video here on this channel all about budget food. So it could be little tips and tricks, a recipe, taste test. It really does just depend on the day of the week. So make sure that you do subscribe, hit that notification bell, turn it on to all, so that way you will be notified. So we have some very common kitchen wives' tales that an old egg will float, don't keep your bread in the fridge, stuff like that. So very first one that we're just going to get out of the way is, will a old egg float? So let's go ahead and have my clear glass and an egg. I'm just gonna go ahead and plop it in there. So this one is actually true. So this one is a fresh egg, okay? And a fresh egg will kind of sink down to the bottom of a glass of water. And the reason why an old egg will float is, as it gets older, it will start kind of breaking down and releasing gases into the inner portion, and so those gases makes the egg float. So if you're not sure, if you don't kind of cycle out your groceries, if you aren't sure whether an egg is old or newer, go ahead and try the old water trick. It does actually work. So yes, that one is true. Another one I do have for you is that it's okay to eat canned goods after the expiration date. This one is kind of true and not true. Okay, so your cans are always going to have a best by date. Okay, best by means you need to eat it by this date for the best freshness and taste and everything like that. Me personally, I will only go 2 months over. Okay, 2 months over from the best by date. If you eat canned goods that are old, there's something called botulism. Botulism is a very deadly food poisoning that has killed lots and lots and lots of people. It makes you very, very ill. And one of the most common ways to get botulism is from old canned goods. You always need to make sure you're checking your canned goods. Okay, so you want to make sure that your can ends are not bulging out. If you can press them in, that means that the product inside is not actually correctly sealed and that there's bacteria growing. So you need to make sure that your can ends, you can't like push it in and it won't pop in and out. A good sealed can, you can't do that, okay? I've seen bulgy cans where it's actually bulging. Don't get those cans. I'm just gonna put this out there. Sometimes I've had to do this years ago, okay, like 10 years ago, 8 years ago. Sometimes you have to go to the food pantry, okay? Every city, most cities has a city-ran food pantry where if you're having a hard time financially, you can go and pick up some groceries. So just be really careful with those. Make sure you're checking those canned goods for the dates. Just because you're having a hard time doesn't mean that you can't be, I'm not going to even call it picky. You need to protect you and your family's health. So just because you're in a hard situation where you do need to maybe get some assistance, that's not an okay excuse for you to have to kind of not be able to have choices. Always, if you are given canned goods by friends, family members, if you do have to go to the food pantry, always check your dates on your cans and make sure that the cans are not bulging and you can't press in and out. So, like I said, the most I'll go out is 2 months. Anything beyond that, I will not use. Okay. Another one is, like, dry goods don't go bad. I'm talking beans, rice, stuff like that. That is absolutely false. So, beans, okay? If beans are old, okay, they will take forever to cook and they will be very hard to soften up. So, I've actually experienced this with dry beans before. Dry beans only, like, I guess technically you could still eat them, but instead of only taking 3 or 4 or 5 hours to cook in the crock pot, they can take 8, 9, 10 hours to cook. When dry beans are way past their goodbye date, they become very, very hard to make edible. Rice can go rancid, okay? So just make sure you're checking stuff. Once again, dry goods will stay good a little bit past the use by date, but just be very, very careful. You want to make sure that you are, yeah, taking your health and your family's health seriously when it comes to food. Food poisoning is very common, and it can be totally kind of avoided by having good kitchen practices. Another one, this one drives me crazy, that it's okay to thaw meat over like under running water or in the microwave. Please, please don't do this, okay? Meat is a very unstable product. Raw meat is. Raw meat is very easy to mishandle and can cause salmonella and all sorts of nasty, nasty food poisoning. Especially, if you are feeding this to someone that is elderly or has a compromised immune system. I have someone in my life that is on the suppressants because they actually have organ transplants. Stuff like people like that, children, the elderly, if you feed them something that was not handled correctly, they can seriously get extremely ill or even pass away from that. Meat is one of those things that you do not mess around with. If you are needing to, if you know you need meat for a recipe, take it down the night before or 2 nights before and put it in the refrigerator. You need to thaw it very, very slowly. There is a danger zone for any type of food with protein in it. So that could be dairy products, meat, salads, like pasta salads, even regular like green salads. You have a 4-hour window. That window is where bacteria is growing, but once it gets past that 4-hour window, it is no longer safe to eat. Okay, so don't put it underneath running water to thaw. Okay, don't put it in the microwave. Putting it in the microwave, even on the thaw setting, it will actually start partially cooking your meat. So now all of a sudden you have a portion of your chicken breast that is starting to cook on the edge, and then you got the rest that is raw. Once again, if you're not cooking that to the right temp, the 165, 180, whatever, you can get salmonella from that. Okay, so don't ever thaw your meat like that. Okay, just put it down the night before, 2 nights before, and guess what? If you forget, just eat vegetarian that night. It's not that bad. Just be very, very careful with the way that you thaw meat. It is extremely unsafe to put it underneath running water or to put it in the microwave. Just, there's some chicken breasts out there, frozen chicken breast. You can go directly from frozen to cooking. Look for stuff like that if you have a hard time remembering to take food down. I'm making a roast, and I took it down 2 nights before to put it in the fridge. That way there's plenty of time for it to thaw. So you can't, don't go put it underneath running water or in the microwave. It's not a good idea. So another thing, an old wives' tale, is putting your bread in the refrigerator will make it go bad quicker. So it is November 2nd right now when I'm filming this. This is like the 4th or 5th video, but I'm feeling good, going strong. So this bread, okay, October 19th. Okay, that is the best if used by this date. This has been in the fridge. Okay. So here is my bread. There's no mold. Okay. I personally like to keep my bread in the fridge. If I keep it out on the counter, it will mold very, very quickly. A lot of times, we're not just eating like bread, like sandwiches. I'm toasting it, stuff like that, making grilled cheese, stuff like that. So even if it gets a little harder in the fridge because it's cold, it's not an issue for us. I do like to keep my bread in the fridge. It does keep it fresher longer, so I do like to do that. Okay, and then the last kitchen wives' tale that I do have to share with you is preheating your oven. A lot of people that I've talked to or have heard don't think it's important to preheat your oven, and let me kind of explain what preheating does. Okay, so a lot of recipes, okay, whether it is on your frozen pizza or if you're doing from scratch cake, I'd say 99.9% of recipes has, hey, preheat your oven to 350. The thing is if you don't start preheating your oven, you're putting your product, you're putting your frozen pizza, you're putting in your cake, you're putting in your cookies, your cinnamon rolls, whatever, you're putting in the oven when it's not up to temperature, okay? So you're supposed to keep that frozen pizza in the oven for 10 minutes at 425, okay? If you pop it in right when you turn on that oven, okay, ovens nowadays, they do heat up very quickly, okay? But they start at 0 degrees and it will get up to 425 degrees. So now you have your pizza in the oven, slowly going up to the temperature of 425. It's in the oven for 8 minutes. Okay? 6 minutes, whatever. And it's finally starting to reach that 425 at like the 5 or 6 minute mark. And you're only leaving it in for 10 minutes. Your pizza is going to be undercooked, number one. Number two, if it's like a baked good, if there is uncooked meat on this product, it's not going to be up to the correct temperature. Eating raw eggs, not a good thing. Eating raw meat, not a good thing. Once again, those are things that can make you extremely, extremely sick. Number two is it will undercook your food. Once again, if I'm making a cake and I just pop it right in the oven, right when I first turn it on, I don't let it come up to the 375, I'm only supposed to keep that cake in for 35 minutes. Okay, so now it's only been at that 375 for 15. I take it out, don't check it, whatever. It's now not going to be cooked all the way through. So I'm going to frost it, I'm going to decorate it, and then when I go to cut it open, it's going to be gummy and gooey inside. I've just wasted so much time. At this point, there's nothing I can do. I have to stop and remake. I've already decorated it, I've already frosted it. Okay, so besides just, the dangers of having undercooked food like meat, dairy products, but it also ruins the experience of your recipe. So preheating your oven is definitely very, very important. It ensures even cooking, complete cooking, and it also keeps you and your family safe from not eating undercooked products that can make you very, very sick. But I hope you enjoyed this Kitchen Wives Tales video. Let me know if you did enjoy it. I'd love to do some more because I've got a lot. I just didn't want to make this video super duper long for you. But one of my favorites has to be the egg one. This one is very well known. But yes, it's completely true. So leave a comment down below if you would love to see another Kitchen Wives Tales video. I'd love to make some more for you. Go ahead and share this video and give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I love making different kinds of content, and this was really fun to do, and I think very informative in a little bit of a fun way. I already said leave a comment. Go ahead and follow me on my other social media. That's what happens when you film this many videos in a row. Go ahead and follow me on my other social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's all at Budget Glam Babe. Don't go anywhere quite yet. I should have another video that start autoplaying here very shortly, or you can always click on one of the ones that will be popping up around the screen. So yeah, I'll see you here in just